guys, welcome back to the channel. Land, Air, and Sea. It used to be Bobby's Land, Air, and Sea, but I kind of shortened it a little bit because it was a little too much on the tongue there. So Land, Air, and Sea it is. So RC obviously. But you know what I'm trying to do here is finagle a way to run some wires, and in this part we're going to be kind of just working on the lighting and the power and buttoning down and everything, sort of like buttoning down the hatches. And you know, maybe we'll start painting the figures a little bit, you know, get those guys out of the way. So right now what we got to do is we got to install the light, the bat light. And I kind of left everything unglued, so you know, we're going to take the seats out, which we'll do. We'll get this stuff out of the way, and we're just going to kind of concentrate on just putting in the what you call it, the light. And these pop out. What I said in the first video on this boat is that I'm gonna magnetize this. This way I can get to the battery. I'm also gonna run, because this is gonna be a flash, a blinking light, I'm gonna run a wire going through here underneath the seat, and that'll have a little battery as well up front, so I can access that if I need to. Everything else I'm going to glue down with hot glue. Reason being the hot glue is because it'll act like a good waterproofer. Did I say that right? And make sure no water gets into the back here. And also I can heat it up with a heat gun, and then, you know, remove this if I have to get to the motor, if I need to get to the motor. So yeah, so let's work on this part right now. The other thing is we did get some orange peel on here. This side came out good, this side didn't. I don't know why. So we're going to sand that down and repaint it. Unfortunately, we just got hit with a snowstorm, and it is freezing outside. I'm in New York, so all of that being said, I can't really, because I sprayed this with a rattle can. So reason being too is also so this all comes out, and we have the inner workings of the boat. Let me see if I can focus that a little better for you guys. So we have a little bit, yeah, it's a little better. That's the inner workings. More. There we go. So yeah, that's the inner workings, and this switch here I'm going to bring up to the front as well, but I will have to extend the wires, unless I might be able to just mount that right onto the this piece here, just kind of wedge it forward. Yeah, that might work. Yeah, so these wires will go right under here, and that'll fix that. So, and then also we have to paint the back part of the boat. As you can see, there was a lot of orange peel back here. So we have to sand that down and paint it. Now, the other reason why I took a little while to start this project is because in the original Polar Lights kit, it came with the decals, the original decals, and it didn't have the pinstriping that I want. I wanted the pinstriping. Also, it didn't have this, which is the white parts of the white side of the boat that I was originally going to paint. I was going to paint that white, and then just it came with the flames, but it didn't come. I don't know if you guys can see it, but it does have. Yeah, let me adjust the light so you can see. Yeah, so if you can see here, it's the on the white decal. All right. Also, it only came with this emblem, which I didn't really like too much. I thought it was kind of not really Batman, real Batman. This here is what I remember as a child. That logo goes on the base. That'll go on this base right here. Also came with the white, can't really see it too well, came with these white fins that go on the back fin. That goes on the this part here, right back in here on this here. Apologize for going out of screen. And so all of that we'll have that too, the white part. I mean, I could easily mask this off and paint it myself, but why not? If I have the decals, it makes life a little easier. So also what it didn't come with are some of these little doodad, these little flare, whatever they are for, details, and also the pinstriping, which can be a pain in the neck if you're doing it by hand. It also came with the separate flames as well, if you are going to paint the white in on the side. And it comes with these nice emblems. And yeah, so, and then this one came in the Polo Lights Repop, which was another boat. So I have an extra boat. So if you guys like my content and you like what's going on, and you want to see more of this type of stuff, leave a comment. Let me know what you like and what you're into, because I do, I am land, air, and sea, so I do boats, I do planes, I do cars. Mostly try to do unique stuff where I'm converting it into RC. There's stuff that I want to sometimes you just want to do a straight build, no gimmicks or anything. And I will be doing that. I will, obviously, I like to do some changes here and there. So, some cars maybe I'll just light up, or boats or planes or whatever it may be. But yeah, let me know in the comments if you like what's going on. And also, if you do comment and give me a like and a subscribe, you could win one of these boats. I have an extra one now, so I'm going to give it away. And, if you want the RC conversion, you would have to email me, and I could talk to you about that. That would be a commission, and, we'd have to work on a price for that. But the model itself would be for free. So just leave a comment and subscribe, and we'll pick somebody randomly, obviously, and they'll be the winner. So yeah, win a free bat boat. So I actually saw another guy building this on YouTube, and he had this decal sheet, and I was a little jealous because I was like, wow, I don't have that one and I need that. So I had to actually order. I looked up what boat he was, what year boat he was working on. What was it, a repop? Was it an original? Did they just do this randomly and change it? So I wasn't really. Yeah, so either way, we like those decals. Got cut off a little bit at the end of that, so I apologize. So I kind of laid out everything you guys need to have to put the light in. Evan Designs is one of my go-tos for their coin cell holders with the switch. It's a 3-volt. Comes with the coin cell holder, and then it has the little switch. Also, I got a flashing, normal flash, nano red, goes on to the 3D. I mean, the 3-volt. And so those two things we need. Put them on the side for a minute, and then we need shrink tubing, which also is provided by Evans Design. It has all different sizes that you can use. Well, obviously we'll be using a smaller gauge, and then also comes in the kit itself is the little LED, the little clear plastic part that goes on the top of the fin. That's going to be the light. So we're going to cut this open, and we're going to snip that little piece off. My handy dandy pliers. And when we cut, we want to cut away from the sprue. So I'm just going to snip that off. And this is the glass for the windshields. We'll keep that back in the plastic so they don't scratch up. Put that on the side. And so now what we got to do is we got to drill out this hole. Alright, so we can run the wire through. And for that, I am going to use my Jank Life, and I also have Tack Life. These two things are like essentials in hacking and converting and all that good stuff. So we'll get the drill going, and we'll get right through. So we want to be careful. We want to be careful we don't hit that peg, because we need that peg. And just right through. Alright. So there we go. We got our hole. Now the peg mounts right up in here like that. Okay, so I will glue that in. There's like a little ring right here that I'm going to paint silver, but I won't do that till after I fix the orange peel on the wing. So yeah, that goes in like that, and that should reflect the light really well. So we'll have that up on there just like that. So I'm going to put that somewhere where I don't lose it for now. And so let's get to soldering. So for that, we do have to do a little bit of soldering. Easy process. I got this little, I guess you call it a wire jig. It holds the wires, so you don't have to use the helping hands. You just put the wire in there and then solder your piece. I think I found this on AliExpress. It was real cheap, maybe a couple of dollars, but it works great. So we're going to put that down, and let's you know what, let's get a shrink tube out of the way. We're going to need two pieces, and if I can open this up, okay, we'll need two pieces. So let's see, the wire is really thin, so let's see, let's get this out, and got a little battery in there, and it comes with little instructions on how to wire it up to your you know, lights. Also, so I can stick this right in here and see how it holds it nicely. So now I have the wire in there, and just take out a piece of tubing. Not going to need much at all, so that should be good. Put our assorted shrink wrap on the side. we'll be using that. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, so this fits perfectly over the wire. It has a little bit of slack. Oh yeah, you also need a lighter. So we'll have a lighter handy. Let me find that. Okay, got the lighter. Got a shrink wrap. I have my soldering iron all hooked up. It's at 180. You don't want it super hot because you don't want to burn anything out, especially if you have a circuit or something going on there. And so we'll start with wiring up the light to the wire. And we'll set that up so you know red goes to red and black goes to black. So then I'll just hook this up here like so. And there we have it. We got them joined up. Now what we can do is let's take them out for a second. Alright, we want to put a piece of shrink tube. We'll cut this in half. And we'll put a shrink tube right on the end of this. It's pretty cool. It has a nice little switch right there. Alright, so, and then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to twist these wires a little bit. And then we're going to make sure it's flat enough that the shrink tube will come over it. And we'll put it down. Clamp it in there. And we'll clamp it on the other side like that. And now we're ready to solder. Alright, so now we're going to put a little bit of flux on it. This helps the solder adhere a little bit. Just a little bit put on there. Okay. I need some solder. I usually just keep a random piece of solder. Also, don't inhale these fumes from the smoke, so make sure you wear a mask when you're doing this. That's kind of important. You don't want to inhale this stuff, it's not good for you. And just a basic cloth ER mask would be fine. I mean, if you really want to be super cautious, wear a respirator. Alright, so now we have that hooked on. So now we get our iron. I like to tin the iron with some solder. I have a little Cho Boy stuffed into a little well that helps clean off the solder. So now I have a little bead of solder on there, and I'm just going to take it, put it right on, and there we have it. Nice and solid. Maybe a little bit more. That should work. Alright. Clean the soldering tip right in the Cho Boy. And we'll do the other one. So we're going to do the same thing on the other side. We're going to put a little piece of shrink tube. Always make sure you remember to put the shrink tube on, because if you don't, you're going to have to unsolder it. put that on there, like so. Now we have our black end that we're going to twist up. Twist that on there. Sorry if I went out of frame. And put that wire down in there. Oh. Okay. Yes, I have the shrink tube on. I almost thought I forgot to put it on. Okay. Apologize for my fat hands. Okay. And gonna put this on the jig. Jig is up. Okay. So that's in good. Want to make sure the edges of the wire is flat. Okay, now we're going to come back with some more flux. Alright. A little flux on there. Going to tin the tip of the soldering iron. A little bit of solder on there. And then love that flux. It just sucks the solder right on. Okay. See guys? Painless and easy to do. Alright, so now we're done with the jig. And now we have them all wired up. Alright, so now what we're going to do is we're going to put the shrink tube over those terminals or connections. Take a little fire. Alright, and make sure that's nice and tight. Okay, there is a little exposure there. That's okay. I can clip that. Okay, and so we've done the wiring. And you can see that it's shrink wrapped and it's all done and hooked up. And then I just drilled a little hole in the hull and then ran the wire up through where we drilled out, and then put the little plastic piece in there, and we got the battery installed, and voila, we now have a blinking light. Let me turn the light away so you can see this a little better. I'll turn the lights off. Yeah, looks good. So now we'll start gluing stuff in and getting the light secure. I'll probably use a little UV resin and start working a little more on the boat. But now that hurdle is out of the way, and we pretty much got everything we need done on that part. I was going to light up the little scope on down in there, but I said, you know what, it's going to be running around and maybe in a pool or something, and it won't really be seen too much. But the light on the outside, obviously, riding around in the pool, whatever, you'll see it. So it's a nice little pool toy. And I'm also going to use a little of this Tamiya Red Clear, the X27, and I'll paint that over the lens a little bit more, make it red. I think it'll stand out a little better, and that'll look nice. And then we'll start detailing up some things. But yeah, I think this is where we're gonna call it quits, guys. And we'll next part we'll start, installing this. We'll get the boat painted. We're just waiting for some little bit better weather, a little warmer. It's not really good to spray paint in the cold like that. So once we get a little bit more break in the weather, we'll come back and spray paint it. I am going to work on the figures a little bit, and we'll paint those guys up. And also, I have some new exciting stuff coming up. We're going to finish up the 3D printed Gundam, the RX-7, and Verka, and working on that. And I have a plane that I'm doing from Minimum RC. It's a Warbird, and we'll be working on that soon. That's coming up. And then I'm going to do the 66 Batmobile that goes with this, and a trailer hitch for it. So all those things are coming up, and we're going to start putting everything together. So thanks for watching, guys. Please like and subscribe. Add a comment down there. Let me know what you guys think. And if you want to see anything, different that I'm doing now, as far as RC conversions are concerned, let me know. Maybe I can come up with something for you. All right, so thanks for watching. If you watched all the way to the end, thank you so much. And definitely like and subscribe. All right, guys, be good, be safe, and have a wonderful weekend. Take care.